What's up, man? We're live.
What's going on, man? How we feeling this morning?
How's everybody feeling out there tonight?
okay,
What's up? Yeah, I'm just gonna
okay.
just check our audio real quick, make sure we're good.
Okay.
Get started in. What's up, man? We're
Yeah,
live.
this London game,
What's going on, man? How
Jacksonville
we
and
feeling this morning?
and Buffalo. Jacksonville up 11 right now.
Oh, really? Did you get the
Yeah,
ball back?
Buffalo kind of struggling early, man. A lot of third down misses from Josh Allen. Trevor Lawrence 7 for 10, 101 yards and a touchdown. They score here. That's a lot of pressure on that Buffalo team.
That kind of surprises me that it's going the way it is.
Yeah, especially with how Jacksonville's been playing. All these
Right.
tight, close games are 2-2. These college matchups, man. There was some wild games on yesterday.
Yeah, for sure. How you feeling today? You get a little crazy last night or?
No, no, not too crazy after the podcast. I think I had like 4 beers from the day, so
Okay.
feeling pretty good. Feeling ready to
Get
get
it
it
popping, man.
popping
You know we're gonna
today,
be getting
and
it popping. We always get it
yeah,
popping.
yeah, gotta
We
get it
always get it
popping.
popping in here, man.
Dude, Georgia, number one, Georgia finally showing like
Like a
they're
number
the
one.
Georgia of last year.
Finally
Carson
showing like
Beck,
the
what
number one.
380 something yards passing. The defense looked good. Brock Bowers getting exactly what he always gets, 130 plus yards. And
Right.
but Carson Beck, I think, was the main storyline. He looked calm back there. He was making his reads. Finally, it looked like Bobo kind of took the training wheels off a little bit.
Okay. Okay, that's a good way to put it. I like
Yeah,
that.
yeah, four touchdowns for him and big one for Georgia. Same for Michigan though. Michigan went out there was very physical, dominant. I watched that game, but I don't know what McCarthy did. I guess I could pull that up.
I'll
McCarthy
pull
just
up
looks
these
like he has
box
full control
scores.
of the offense. So super comfortable.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, we said this going. You said this going into the beginning of the season that you thought Michigan would be the favorite to win the national championship. So,
Uh-huh. Yeah, I still
and
believe that. Georgia
that's tested right,
starting to look a little better than expected.
right? How about
But
Texas and
McCarthy, yeah,
Oklahoma
that was a wild game. Matthew McConaughey on the sideline losing
going
it.
crazy? Yeah,
Yeah, and the what was it? Pat McAfee and AJ Hawk and them guys on the sideline pulling for Texas. They had their
right.
Texas hats on. They was yucking it up down there on the sidelines. Freaking, it's wild,
That's
wild, man.
exactly what Pat McAfee's supposed to do, man. He's a big yucker upper.
Yeah,
He's a yucker
yeah, he
upper.
is. He's an entertainer for sure.
He is, man. It's fun to see the guy get a little crazy.
Yeah, Michigan win. It looks like they didn't have to do a whole lot on offense. They're a physical team, man, but their schedule's just as weak as Georgia might have a stronger schedule than Michigan.
Oh, really? I haven't
Yeah, it's
actually looked at
pretty.
Michigan's schedule.
I haven't looked at the back half, but I mean they haven't played anybody worth anything as of right now.
How about Oklahoma going out there and beating Arizona State?
Yeah, yeah,
Or
that was a big
sorry,
win for
Colorado.
them.
Colorado, not Oklahoma.
Colorado, yeah. What was the final score of that game?
I think it was like 27-24.
Oh wow, yeah.
Yeah, tight game. Won by a field goal. Of course, Deion Sanders trying to talk his kicker made the game winning field goal, and he goes up there after the game and tells him he whispers leans to his ear and tells him to celebrate. So that's pretty fun.
Yeah, Prime super flashy. He's been humble in the losses though, which has been you don't expect that out of somebody so flashy like that, but they're on the up and up. Colorado
Yeah,
is.
they on the come up.
Yeah.
Yeah, they on the come up.
USC Caleb Williams barely getting a win against Arizona. I remember looking at that game yesterday going, uh-oh, oh
Yeah.
no.
Oh no. Oh no.
Oh no. And then Caleb Williams rallies them. The Notre Dame, yeah, Louisville game. That one was pretty wild too.
Right.
That quarterback from Notre Dame threw he had like 3 or 4 turnovers late in that game and just kind of just killed them.
Yeah, that's been some good games, man. Ohio State did what they were supposed to do and got the win against God, who did Ohio State play last night? I can't think of
Maryland,
it.
they played
Maryland,
Maryland.
yeah, they did
Maryland
what they
with
were supposed to do.
Tagovailoa, yeah.
So, hey, well, I feel like we're right on pace in college football. Every team is doing what they're supposed to do. How about LSU versus Missouri?
Yeah, LSU winning that game 49-39. That was a wild game too. I didn't watch a whole lot of it. I saw the highlights of that game. Miami beating Georgia Tech, or Georgia Tech beat Miami was a big upset of the week.
Yeah, yeah.
And North Carolina, number 14, North Carolina, just dominating Syracuse, 40-7. North Carolina remains undefeated. They're looking pretty strong this year.
Right.
Be interested to see how far they can go. What you
Oh
think
man.
about Clemson Wake Forest? What was the final score of that game like? I know it was like
17 to
17 to
12.
14, 17
17
12. That's what it
12, yeah.
was.
Wake
God,
Forest had a
Clemson
chance
fans,
to
how
win
are
at
we
the end.
scoring today?
Wake Forest had a chance to win at the end. It was 12-17. They went for the onside kick with like a minute 40 left. Didn't get it, but still had three timeouts, but just couldn't make a defensive stand.
Yeah, yeah.
That's ugly for Clemson. That's an ugly. It's a win, but it's an ugly win. I mean, at
It's
home
an
playing
ugly
Wake Forest,
win.
you expect that to be a blowout win. I mean, Wake Forest is practically
Yeah,
a D
Clemson
two school.
fans. Clemson fans, let us know in the comment section how you're feeling. Is it because I keep hearing these chirps about getting rid of Dabo, which I think is a crazy mistake.
Yeah, Dabo's. I mean, he's proven himself as one of the greats, and he'll continue to do that. I mean, they're struggling with some young guys right now, so I think that that's their biggest problem. But once this youth gets a little more experience, and the talent's going to continue to come into Clemson as it always does. I think that's when you'll
Yeah,
see these fans shut up. They're spoiled. That's all it is. You get 4, 5, 12 win
that's
seasons. I mean, you win the ACC championship every single year. You have a high expectation.
yeah. They had the Clemson fans who had the luxury of being able to buy their ACC tickets before the season even started because it was that obvious. You know, back in the
Yeah,
Lawrence days, the Watson days, you can get a little spoiled when that's the case.
that's
For
right.
several years. But I think Clemson fans are just panicking. It's okay. It's a little bit of a down year, but you got to don't put more pressure on Dabo, man. Eventually, you might end up running them out.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, that's the last thing you want to do because you saw what happens whenever, like Brent Venables leaving has been a huge hit on the defense. Imagine
It
what's going
really
to happen on the
has.
recruiting and the offense, the defense. Everything's going to take a massive hit if they lose a guy like Dabo, which I'm all for,
Uh-huh.
being a Carolina fan.
Right. It was good to have them on the bye. That means we didn't lose this week.
Yeah, it was nice to be able to relax and not have to worry about that. But then we come back and play. Was it Florida this week?
Yeah, that's what it's looking like.
I think we play Florida week 7.
Next week, some interesting matchups. It's going to be a good week for college football. Georgia does play Vanderbilt, and Michigan plays Indiana. They continue the soft schedule. But there is, let's see, Oregon and Washington, number 8 versus number 7 next week. We also have USC versus Notre Dame, number 9 versus number
That'll be
10.
very
That'll be
good.
very
That'll be a very
interesting.
good game.
Miami, number 17 versus number 14, North Carolina, and then Missouri at 21 versus Kentucky. They won't be ranked at
I'd
that
imagine
point.
Miami will probably drop out of the top 25 after that loss to Georgia Tech.
Yeah, I think so too. And we'll
But
see where Notre
I
Dame
don't think
falls
that
after that.
changes how good they are. I think North Carolina and Miami would be a very good matchup. Divisional game, um, or same
Yeah,
conference
yeah, I
game.
think so
So
too. Yeah, I think so too. We got 3 minutes before we get kicked
yeah, we
off
got
here.
3 minutes. Well, yeah, we got another. Oh, we got a few guys joining in now. We got 4 people watching. So what's up, fellas?
Oh,
Ladies and
nice,
gentlemen, ladies
nice.
and gentlemen.
Appreciate you guys joining us this morning.
Yeah, what's up, man? We're about to get started here in about 2 minutes. Yeah, dude, I'm excited for some college football. It's nice. Hopefully, we can see some improvements from Carolina. But this isn't.
And let us know in the comment section if you're having any troubles with the audio.
Yeah, that's right. That's something we've been working on. This is only our third time doing a live stream, so this is something I'm fairly new to. I'm not a tech guy, so you take two non-tech guys and they're doing technical stuff. It's probably going to be a
Right,
little buggy.
right. Yeah, you're between the two of us. You are definitely the tech guy over the two of us.
Yeah, I try my best. But yeah, leave in the comment section if y'all have any fantasy questions. I mean, we'll get to those whenever. Anything about fantasy, anything about any football questions, we're here to answer. That's what this live stream's for. Got 3 minutes coming up. How's this?
Yeah, I think
How's the Bills and
the
Jacksonville game
biggest.
looking?
Oh, it's looking. I think it's still 11-0. Jacksonville's got the ball. I think at the 50, right on midfield.
Okay.
Trevor Lawrence trying to drive. If they get a touchdown here, it's going to be rough for the Bills. Big play by Christian Kirk, about a 15-yard end around flag on the play. Yeah,
Let me know what
Buffalo's
the
got to do
flag
something. They can't
is.
convert on third and short. They're in good positions on third down, being 3rd and 3, 3rd and 2, and they can't capitalize. They keep trying to pass though. No run game for Buffalo in this game yet.
I'm assuming that flag is making it come back, right?
Looks like holding on the offense. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I didn't get the points in fantasy. I'm needing that. Planning to get a big game
Um.
against Shawn Michael this week, so shout out to him.
Oh yeah, he's always tough in fantasy. He always brings it.
Yeah, he's a great fantasy player for sure. Talked a lot of trash
Yeah, the
talking
biggest
about me this
takeaway for
year.
me. Oh, that's the beauty of it, man.
Yeah, for
You know,
sure.
that's the beauty of fantasy is, drafting those guys, believing in them, and then they turn out shitting on you, and then you pick up someone else's guy, someone that they dropped,
Yeah, right.
plug them right in the lineup, play them against them.
My biggest thing is I'm gonna talk trash whether I'm winning or losing. I'm gonna talk trash
That's the best
regardless.
part.
I'm not gonna talk trash when
Me
it's
too.
convenient, when it's easy to talk trash. I'm not gonna wait for the game to
Right.
be
Yeah.
over.
When
I'm
I'm
gonna talk
up, I'm gonna
trash.
talk all that shit.
I'm gonna talk trash in the fourth quarter when the team's up by 3 and there's still 3 minutes to go. I'll be talking
Right.
that trash,
Yeah.
even though
Talking
it's
that
probably
trash. You
not gonna
got
be that
to.
good. High risk, high
That's what
reward.
sports are for, man.
High risk, high
Yeah.
reward.
High risk, high reward. I love it. I love it. And when you win, though, it feels so good when
It
you
feels
talk all
so
that
good. When
junk.
you
You're like, I
lose, though, you
told
talk a bunch
you.
of junk. Oh man, you're like
Oh,
an
it
idiot.
hurt.
You're like an idiot.
Oh, it hurt. It hurts. Yeah, we got another minute or two before we get kicked off here. Yeah, I think the biggest takeaway for me yesterday was Carson Beck. Honestly, he looked like he was comfortable in the pocket, and I think that's what Georgia needs to make that push that I haven't expected them to make. Was the leadership ability and the consistency at quarterback. They finally got that. So we'll see what happens with Georgia going moving forward. You want to kick this off?
Yeah, let's do it. It's just me watching right now, so hopefully we'll have some more viewers come in. But it is 10:30, so let's get started. Let's talk about this. I guess we'll go ahead and start talking about this Jacksonville game.
Yeah, coming into this game, I think. I mean, we all kind of had Buffalo favored. It's actually looking like it's going the opposite way right now. We'll see what happens and where it ends, but uh, yeah, kind of shocked at this 11-0 start or 11-0 start against Buffalo with Jacksonville up right now. How you feeling about it?
Yeah, definitely surprised. But they say it's a Buffalo home game, but it's in London. London has been, I guess, known as the home stadium for Jacksonville.
Right, Jacksonville's I
So
think probably had the most appearances, right?
yeah, I think it's like the only team, or I mean, obviously not the only team. They got to play somebody, but that's their. It's the only team that plays there
Yeah.
and considers that home, as far as I do. So,
Ah, okay.
but yeah, it's definitely weird to see that. Say that's a Bills home game in London, but yeah, like you said, I mean, we all expected the Bills to be the favorite coming into this game, and I'm sure they were probably a 4 point favorite at least. You've seen Trevor Lawrence kind of look terrible in his offense. This looked awful.
Yeah, it's just looked out of sync, after the Ridley getting the touchdown week one looking sharp and then has kind of struggled. Last week Ridley had two catches for 36 yards, I think it was, and
I
like
think the week
eight
before that was
touchdowns.
like
They never
three.
went back to him. Yeah, so
Yeah, it's not good.
he's a good receiver. Lawrence a good quarterback, but it just seems like the chemistry's a little off.
Right, right. Yeah, and that defense, I mean, the defense has proven pretty decent. You saw them hold the Chiefs to a pretty low scoring game. Um,
Yeah.
it'll be interesting to see what Josh Allen can do to make a comeback in this game. I'd like to see him, throw for 5, throw for 4, and run for 1 again like he did last week.
Yeah, I think they're starting a little slow, but I think by the end of this is going to be a more competitive game. I don't see them holding that Buffalo offense down for that long.
Right.
It's funny, 74% of the betting odds going towards Buffalo. Well, I guess it's actually just updated now. They actually got Buffalo as a five and
Plus
a
5.5.
half underdog.
Right.
Yeah, so they expected the odds are moving towards Buffalo losing by more than 4.5. That's interesting.
Yeah, I think that's just because
Um, Gabe Davis, you started him, and on the other side, you probably started those guys too.
we might have froze up for a second. I think OBS might have bugged out. Okay, we're back. Yeah, OBS disconnected, but we're good. It reconnected. Yeah,
Um,
yeah, and it's interesting to see because you got Zay Jones coming back into the game, or coming back for the Jags this week, who's already scored
has a touchdown.
Yeah, already has a touchdown.
Yeah.
You saw him playing very well before the Chiefs game. He got hurt in that Chiefs game, and he even came back and had 2, 3 end zone targets. So, You keep a lookout for Zay Jones for all the fantasy people out there. How do you feel about Trevor Lawrence? Do you think he's going to be able to turn it around? I know me and you were talking about him kind of taking this second year leap in the Doug Peterson offense. Do you think do you think he still has a chance to take that second year leap?
I do. I think they're going to get it figured out. They're already in a weak division against Indy, Houston. Houston showing little signs of life. And Tennessee, who's susceptible to the passing game. They're going to get it back right. Doug Peterson, a great offensive mind. They got the weapons around them. It's just they just got to get it right. I have more confidence in them getting it right than Cincinnati getting it
Yeah,
right.
yeah, I agree with that. It sucks because you see Joe Burrow, and I mean I'm obviously we're big fans of Joe Burrow. It's bad. It's bad, but they play
Not
the
good.
Cardinals
Yeah.
today, so we'll see. But yeah, going to our next matchup, we got the Colts in Indianapolis, or sorry, the Colts in Tennessee. That game's a pick'em game, -1 for the Colts. It's in Indianapolis. What's the over under for that game? I will look and tell you right now. If you just give me ones, 43.5 points is the over under. Just talking just to be a filler. Okay, so yes, it's 43.5 points. It's got Tennessee -2.5. That has changed. Um, I think it's gonna be a slugfest in that game, man.
Yeah, I think so too. I think we're going to find out if Richardson can get anything done in the passing game because Tennessee's going to shut the run down.
Yeah,
I mean, if I have Jonathan Taylor, I'm starting. If I have Zach Moss, I'm just putting him on the bench for this week and seeing if Jonathan Taylor can even hold up a workload since he's been behind with training camp and been
right.
behind. Hasn't been practicing with the team. Where's he at health wise? Is he up to game speed? We don't know. And we know that if he does go down or if he can't handle it right now, which we all believe he will take over. But if he starts slow or if he looks like trash, you still have Zach Moss, who is producing. He will cut into the workload of Jonathan Taylor. I'm
That's
not
right.
starting Moss at all,
I agree with that.
but
Yeah, I'm
I
not starting
am
him
if
either.
Jonathan Taylor, I'm starting Jonathan Taylor. If he's on my team, I'm drafting, I'm putting him in. But I do think Tennessee wins this game. I really do.
Yeah, I definitely see why they have Tennessee favored by 2.5 points. It's still not a very high over under, but I'm with that. I'm gonna take the under on that though. It's 43.5 points. I'm taking the under. Um, I mean, it's two bad offenses, honestly. Anthony Richards has kind of showed some flashes, but realistically, man, I haven't seen him make a good throw yet. All of his
He's
production's
he's
been on the
made
ground.
he's made Michael Pittman a little more relevant than he was last year. So it seems like there are a little bit more signs of life than he had last year with Matt Ryan with Anthony Richardson. But yeah, it's gonna. I think I like taking the under here too because I think it's gonna be a run heavy game. It's gonna be the game's gonna burn out quick. Not a lot of high scoring points. These offenses don't have a great passing game, and Tennessee's so good against the run. I think it's gonna force Richardson to pass, which could end up being a pro for the under. If we're taking the under,
That's right. That's right.
58% of the betting odds are going towards Indianapolis in this game plus 2.5. I'm actually going. I'm going to go Tennessee, yeah, minus the 2.5. But I think it's going to be a close game. It's a divisional game. I think Tennessee pulls this out.
Yeah, even though I'm against him in fantasy, I would like to see Jonathan Taylor get back right. A superstar athlete. He just got paid the 3 years, 42 million for 3 years. So it would be nice to see Jonathan Taylor get right and be a stud at football like he used to be. I mean, it's so fun watching those explosive athletes and seeing a running back get paid is actually exciting too.
Yeah, what was it? 3 years, 42 million, something
That's
like
right.
that. 40
That's right.
something million. I was like, go ahead, Jonathan Taylor. Go ahead and get your money, man.
Yeah, that's right. It's well deserved. I mean, especially after that game or that first year he had where he really blew up. I guess that was his second year in the league. So he's still a young guy,
Are
but
you starting?
it hurts to see the injury. Go ahead.
You starting DeAndre Hopkins or Garrett Wilson against Denver?
Oh, DeAndre Hopkins or Garrett Wilson against Denver. I'm gonna go with Garrett Wilson against Denver. That's a great matchup for
Me
Garrett
too.
Wilson. Zach Wilson actually showed some signs of life last week, but I do see the path for DeAndre Hopkins having a play action touchdown in this game. You're going to see them trying to feed Tajay Spears and Derrick Henry, and that's going to open up a lot of opportunity for the play action. But Denver does have the Colts do have a good secondary, so we'll see. But I would definitely go Garrett Wilson over that. The talent is too good.
Yeah, I would also go Michael Pittman Jr. over DeAndre Hopkins in this matchup. I think that
Yeah,
Tennessee's secondary is really, really susceptible to the pass. Anything else you want to go over in this game? I know. Derrick Henry's in for all of us. Jonathan Taylor's in. Michael Pittman's in. I'm not really trying to start DeAndre Hopkins, but if you need to, like him or Hollywood Brown, I'm probably going Hollywood Brown. Um, yeah, I'm trying to get DeAndre Hopkins. Has just looked like he's lost a step, which we were kind of expecting, you know?
yeah, that's right. Yeah, he's getting older and not the best quarterback in Ryan Tannehill, so you kind of expect that. Before we
Oh
go forward, I
no.
want to go back and talk about the Bears and the Commanders game that we didn't talk about.
Yeah, welcome back, Justin Fields. How do we not talk about that?
Yeah, Justin Fields. Oh yes.
Oh yes, yeah,
Oh
Justin. And if
yes.
you, oh, I'm so glad to go against him in fantasy, him and DJ Moore. I mean, if you went against him and DJ Moore last, Thursday,
Your
you're
game's over.
you're
You lost.
probably out. You're out running errands on this Sunday. You're
Yeah,
not sitting on the
that's
couch
right.
watching football because
Nah.
your fantasy matchups are done.
Yeah, they would have dropped 90 points on you this week or close to it.
Gosh, yeah.
That's in half point.
And
I
I
think
think
it. Go ahead.
the good thing about Justin Fields is we finally saw it through the passing game and not just the running game. Eight passing touchdowns as of right now. He leads the NFL in passing touchdowns. Yeah, he does have the 1 week ahead because he's already played this week, but I still think that that's super nice to see if you're a
Yeah.
Justin Fields fantasy owner or a Bears fan. To see signs of life in the passing game, which we haven't seen from Justin Fields yet.
It's nice to see for these 2 weeks, but I don't think that. I think there's a lot of luck that was involved in those 2 weeks. I mean, you saw DJ Moore bailing Justin Fields out on a few plays, on a few big plays this week. But still,
He did.
two great performances. I mean, a very close loss where Justin Fields was the problem with the fumble for the touchdown against Denver, and then him going out and beating a very tough Washington Commanders defense in Washington. That's very surprising. So yeah, anybody that started Justin Fields in fantasy is probably happy, and if you started the Commanders defense, you're probably not so happy.
Yeah, definitely not. And Eric Bieniemy, the offensive coordinator from the Chiefs, signed by the Commanders. I'm just not seeing it, man. I'm not seeing they're not using Jahan Dotson in the right way. The offense, Sam Howell doesn't seem like that guy. We'll see going forward. Anything else you want to cover in that game?
No, but like you said, Eric Bieniemy coming from the Chiefs, you see that a lot of times. Like you saw Josh McDaniels coming from the Patriots to the Raiders, and it not really working out. You're seeing Shane Steichen, the guy who developed Jalen Hurts, coming from the Eagles, going to the Colts, and it's not looking the best. I mean, Anthony Richardson's looking okay, but once again, though, it's another like a bunch of 2 or 3 great offensive coordinators going to be head coaches, and it's just not panning out like you think it would.
Yeah, yeah. Well, it's going to be interesting for Washington and Chicago moving forward. Houston at 2-2 at Atlanta today. Houston, the underdog, plus 2.5. I'm gonna be honest. I think Houston goes in Atlanta and gets the win. I really do. They've been playing good football. CJ Stroud is. They're able to bomb it deep to Nico Collins and Tank Dell, and you know Pierce really hasn't shown us much this year, but Stroud has looked like the best rookie coming into this season.
Yeah, be on the lookout for an upset here. I know it says Atlanta minus 3 for Atlanta. I'm surprised by that. CJ Stroud, like you said, has been looking great. Um, the Houston defense is actually looking really good too, and I think with that one-dimensional offense from the Falcons, I could see a blowout loss for the Falcons in this game.
I will say what Houston does best. Their passing defense is pretty decent. I think that the reason why this line is the way it is, which 71% of betting odds are going towards Houston to cover the 2.5, or not cover, but to
That's right.
Houston plus 2.5. 71% of odds are going that way. But I think it's just the running game of Atlanta
Yeah,
against
B. John Robinson.
Houston's defense. I think that Yeah, I think that's where Atlanta's going to have to win. I mean, obviously, where Atlanta's going to have to win every week is through the running game because Desmond Ritter really isn't that guy. But
Yeah.
I do think that I think this game is going to be close. I think the line, is probably where it should be. I think it should be maybe a little bit, maybe like a. I'd
I
probably
think,
take Houston
yeah.
+1, -1, either way. But it being in Atlanta is probably why they're a favorite a little bit.
Yeah, I think Houston goes out there and wins by more than 3 points. I could see this being I would take Houston -3 in this game, or even -3.5. I see them winning by more than a field goal.
That's interesting. Yeah, I think that most bettors, they think they see it the way you do. I kind of see it as like maybe Houston wins by 3. I'm thinking
Right.
Houston by field goal. Maybe we see Stroud late in that game, march them down, and they get a field goal to win it. But
Yeah, I'm taking the over in that
yeah, I
game.
think
That's 42 points over under. I'm taking the over just because of CJ Stroud. You've seen he's balling out. So um, yeah, that's definitely a good matchup there. You starting Tank Dell in this game?
I got him in. I got Justin Herbert and Keenan Allen out in fantasy, and I plugged in C.J. Stroud and Tank Dell. Tank Dell. I mean, I like Nico Collins more. Obviously, he's the number one in that receiver, but Tank Dell has shown a lot of signs of life. Stroud has shown signs to be able to keep his eyes downfield and get big plays. You saw it 2 weeks ago with Tank Dell with like a 50-yard bomb. Yeah, I got Tank Dell in. Let's see, would I start him or Adam Thielen or Tank Dell this week?
Adam Thielen or Tank Dell? Adam Thielen's versus the Lions. I'm probably going Adam Thielen there just for security. I mean, he's getting, especially in PPR leagues, he's going to get 10 targets. And Bryce Young is going to have to get rid of the ball quick with Aiden Hutchinson in that pass rush from the Lions. So Adam Thielen's a perfect target for that. Um, so yeah, I guess for security, I
Yeah,
feel
I'm
like
going Adam
Tank
Thielen in
Dell.
that matchup too, especially in PPR. Standard, I might.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Tank Dell has a higher ceiling for sure, but the floor for Adam Thielen, I feel like, is 8 points.
yeah.
I mean, he's going to produce.
Damian Pierce in this game, hasn't looked like the fourth round pick. A lot of people spent fantasy, in fantasy draft, they spent that fourth round pick on him. He's not really panned out for people. Who are you liking in this matchup? Damian Pierce or Najee Harris?
Um, who are the Steelers playing this week?
Baltimore and Pittsburgh.
Baltimore and Pittsburgh. I think we talked about this already, but I see Pittsburgh going out there and playing a great game against the Ravens. Mike Tomlin does what Mike Tomlin does. He's going to probably go out there and have a above 500 season. So I'm taking Najee Harris in this matchup. I could see I could see him going out there and having a good game. Maybe 60 yards and a touchdown, 70 yards and a touchdown. I mean, they're going to use him like he needs to be used. And you're going to see, whenever in those divisional games, you always see every single player, the ball gets spread around so much. And Najee Harris does still have that talent as a ball carrier to get to the end zone.
Yeah, I think I like Damian Pierce over Najee Harris. I think it's going to be a physical game for Najee Harris. Let's see I think that covers everybody on Houston's side. Atlanta, Bijan Robinson's in. Would you go Tank Dell or Drake London?
Oh, I'm going Tank Dell. I don't believe in any passing offense from the Falcons.
I agree.
Hey,
I
what's
agree
up,
with
Ben?
that.
We got
Drake
Ben
London, if
joining
you
in.
have to. Ben, what's going on, man? Thanks for joining. Yeah, Drake
He said
London,
Lamar's about to ball out. What do you think about that? You think Lamar's going to ball out
Lamar.
today?
He gets all of his receiving weapons back. I think Odell's supposed to be healthy. Bateman's supposed to be healthy. Zay Flowers. They need to get him vertical down the field. We talked about it last week. We finally seen signs of Mark Andrews coming alive.
Yeah, yeah, very true.
Finally getting some plays, some deep vertical passing game for him. I was a little worried about Mark Andrews, but I think he's going to be just fine.
Yeah, he had what, like 10
Uh,
targets last week for 5 catches and 2 touchdowns, I think. That's what it was last week. So
which is what you have to give him
expect,
every week.
yeah, that's what you
He's
expect.
a baller. He's a top 3 tight end in the league. You know, projected to be top 2. Maybe even could end at 1. We'll see. But
Well,
but
if we're
anything else you
talking,
want to go over with this Houston Atlanta matchup? I think we both
no,
have Houston winning this game.
yeah, I have Houston winning that game. I don't believe in the Atlanta offense. It's very one dimensional, and CJ Stroud's been playing well. I want to see him continue that streak this week. Zero interceptions is very impressive.
Yeah, it really is. It really is. He's comfortable back there.
Yeah, let's skip the Panthers matchup since we're already talking about Baltimore and Pittsburgh. Go ahead and go to that, and we'll get back to the Panthers matchup.
Okay.
But
Oh yeah.
Baltimore -4.5 in Pittsburgh. The over/under is 38.5 points. I feel like that is terribly low.
Do you?
Yeah, I do. I do agree that both defenses are good, but like you said, you're getting the weapons back from for the Ravens. Lamar's getting his weapons back at receiver, and you're seeing Kenny Pickett's coming back. Plus Mike Tomlin. I expect to see Mike Tomlin with a bounce back game for the Steelers. I expect this to be over 38.5 points.
I expect it to be over too, but I don't. Is Pickett supposed to be back or is Trubisky supposed to play? I know they were talking with Pickett like it could be a season ending injury. It might not be. Now he's expected back. Like I don't know what. I haven't looked into what Pickett's doing if he's going to play in this game. But honestly, I like Baltimore in this game. They finally get their pieces back, and the only way Baltimore loses this game is for one, the running backs. We don't know what we're getting into the running game. You
Right.
got to
That's
get
very
Lamar
true.
involved and get him some touches as far as him running the ball goes. And we're going to see if that passing game because I think this is the first time all season that he's had all of his weapons for the game. Like you
Yeah,
get
that's
all his
right.
guys back. I think Baltimore wins this game, man. I don't think that Pittsburgh's going to be able to keep up, but I don't know if they win it. I wouldn't take them -4.5. I
Yeah, I
think it's
think
going to be a
this
close
is.
game.
Yeah, like it's a divisional game. We always say that, if you're going to bet on like a pick 'em game, it's never a divisional game. You can never just pick a divisional game who's going to win. Really, it's so hard to say.
Yeah.
That's why whenever we make our predictions for win losses on the year, we always split all the divisional games. So I think it's going to be a close game,
Yeah.
like you were saying. Justice Hill's supposed to be healthy in this game, and Gus Edwards is back, so you should see a decent running game. I mean, it should be a very volatile offense of who you don't really know who's going to get the ball except for pretty much Mark Andrews. But yeah, Kenny Pickett is back in this
Yeah.
game. He was announced as good to go on Friday, but they said he won't have full mobility in this game, so we'll see.
Okay, so dial up the blitzes,
Yeah, dial up the blitzes
Baltimore.
exactly.
Yeah, I'm not starting any running back for Baltimore. I'm starting Lamar Jackson. I'm starting Andrews. I'm starting Zay Flowers. Outside of that, I don't want anything to do. I'm just sitting back and watching. Pittsburgh, Najee Harris. I'm trying to get out of that. I'm trying to
That's
move
right.
away from that. If you have to start him, you start him.
In some deeper leagues,
Jalen
Jalen
Warren.
Warren. Yeah,
I'm starting Jalen Warren,
I'm
honestly.
starting
In the
Jalen Warren.
flex, I think he's the better athlete between him and Najee Harris. I think that, especially in PPR, half point PPR, Jalen Warren is just getting more targets, and he just looks like the better athlete
He's
between the
fast and
two.
explosive, man.
Yeah,
You see the same thing with Christian McCaffrey, how like whenever he touches the ball he could score at any time. And I thought they need to
yeah.
up the volume for Jalen Warren. He's a stud in the making.
I agree. I think Fryermuth's out in this game. Is that
He
right?
is.
I
That's
know he
right.
took a shot. Yeah, no, Pickens. You're starting Pickens in the
You're
flex
starting
or the wide
Pickens,
receiver
yeah.
three.
There's so much big play potential.
Outside of that, I mean, anybody you're interested in starting on this Pittsburgh side?
No, I am interested to see what the tight end position does, though. I know Darnell Washington's out there. He haven't really seen him in the passing game, but I think he's an athlete. He's a high caliber athlete, so it'd be interesting to see what Darnell Washington does in that tight end position. But nothing I'm really dialed in on for fantasy as far as anything else we talked about.
Yeah, Darnell Washington. I wouldn't start him in fantasy or anything like that, but as a football player goes, great inline blocker. We saw what he could do in the combine with like the crazy behind one-handed catches on the
Right.
sideline. They got to kind of like in the red zone. He can be a red zone threat. He's 6'8", 6'9", however tall he
Yeah.
is. Just
Massive.
throw the ball up to him, man. Give him some chances. Yeah,
Yeah, so be on the lookout for that.
I like Baltimore winning this game, but I think I'm taking Pittsburgh +4.5. That's a lot of points in a divisional game in
Yeah.
Pittsburgh. Kenny Pickett's back. I think Baltimore wins, but I think they don't win by 4.5.
I'm with you 100% on that, and I'm taking the over on this game as well. So yeah, our next matchup though, we got the Panthers and the Lions. This is in Detroit, over under 44 points. Detroit -9.5 points.
That's a lot of points to not have Amon Ra.
It's a lot of points to have
You
to have
know, it doesn't
Amon-Ra
seem
or
the nine
Jameer
and a half
Gibbs
seems or Jameer Gibbs.
or Josh Reynolds.
I'm taking Carolina plus 9.5 here. I don't feel good about it. I'd probably stay away from it if I was a better. 64% of betting odds are going towards Detroit to cover the 9.5. I just think Detroit's missing too much. I think they'll have enough to win the game because Bryce Young is. I mean, he's improving. He's improving
He is.
every week. The fantasy the completion percentage is going up. He's looked a little bit more comfortable. But I just don't think it's enough. I think Detroit's a playoff team. They have an identity. Montgomery, he's in. He's going to kill it. You know, he's going to put up. He's going to have a massive day. Outside of that, you know, Laporta's in. Sam Laporta balling
Sam
out.
Laporta's in, yeah.
Sam Laporta's in. Jared Goff, you can start him. If you got him, you can start him. You
Yeah, I think
know,
so too.
Montgomery's obviously in. Outside of that, I mean, I'm probably staying away from the Detroit Lions receivers.
The
Anybody
Lions
you want to
defense.
start? Maybe a sneaky start.
I've got the Lions defense starting in both of my fantasy leagues this week, so I expect a good performance from them. That pass rush is incredible, and Bryce Young, like you said, I mean, he's improving, but he's not looking like a he's still not looking like a great quarterback. I mean, he's not a quarterback one.
Not right now, but they
Not
do need to
yet,
get
right?
some weapons around them. Yeah,
That's right.
we'll see what happens. I'm a little worried about the durability being undersized, but yeah, I like the fantasy matchup with the Detroit Lions against Carolina this week. I really like that. Chuba
Yeah,
Hubbard, if Miles Sanders is not able to go, it's not the best matchup against that Detroit front seven, but
I believe that Miles Sanders
I'm
is playing.
if he's playing, stay away from Chuba Hubbard. He's on the bench or
That's
on the
right.
waiver wire, wherever you want to put him.
Um,
Touchdowns to Stephon Diggs,
yep. I just got the notification for Josh Allen. Um,
and they're right back in it.
they're right back in it. That's right. It's before the half too, so it feels like these games take forever. The 9:30 games. Um,
Yeah.
I feel like they always drag out for like another 30 minutes longer than a normal game. But yeah, I do want you to keep an eye out for DJ Chark, who had a touchdown last week and still looks good as an athlete. Like as a football player, he looks good. I thought they're going to try to get the ball to him a little
He
bit
looks
more,
solid, yeah.
and so definitely be on the lookout for DJ Chark. That's like some deeper fantasy league stuff. I mean, if you're playing in 3 receiver leagues, 12-man leagues, 14-man leagues, be looking out for DJ Chark. His numbers last week were they were all right. Or no, I'm sorry, not last week. He had a touchdown, but the week before against Seattle. He had 11 targets, 4 catches, 86 yards, and a touchdown. And then last week he only had 3
It's
targets.
impressive.
So that's the difference
Yeah.
between Andy Dalton and Bryce Young. But if you can see what you can do with Andy Dalton, you should expect that offense to try to push to get Bryce Young to throw him the ball more. I mean, you could tell he's a good athlete. He was good with Jacksonville too.
I like that. Who you taking in this game?
I'm taking Detroit, but I'm going to take the Panthers to cover. 9.5 is just crazy to me, and yeah, 9.5 is crazy.
Yeah, that's a lot of points, especially with Detroit kind of banged up. I think Detroit wins the game. I think Carolina taking the 9.5. I think they'll. That's a good bet. Yeah, we just went over the Baltimore game. Anything else you want to go over in this Carolina Detroit game?
No, just be on the lookout. If you've got Hayden Hurst and Adam Thielen, they're going to have a good game today. Detroit,
I like that. So
a lot of pass rush. Bryce Young's going to have to get the ball out of his hands very quickly. And what better way to do that than to a PPR machine like Adam Thielen or to the tight end position? But Hayden Hurst is a good tight end. I mean, you saw it all year. He's been kind of Bryce Young's guy, which you see a lot in rookie quarterbacks, especially mobile ones.
Adam Thielen or George Pickens this week?
Adam Thielen. I'm taking the security
I
of Adam
like.
Thielen with the potential for him to score a touchdown.
Oh yeah. Oh, I'm gonna go. That's a tough one. I'm gonna go George Pickens in that matchup. I think that Baltimore secondary's been a little bit susceptible to the pass. George Pickens a little bit better than Adam Thielen, and I think they'll get him involved. But I do like. I think Adam Thielen's going to be just fine this week, especially in PPR.
Yeah, I think Adam Thielen, I mean, he's getting 10 targets. I think he's had 10 targets every single game this year.
Yeah.
And so
Yeah.
he's going to get the points. If you're in a half-point PPR, he's getting you 8 points minimum. So
I think you're right. Yeah.
and then George Pickens
Which is
scored
safer
0
than
points.
rolling Pickens out.
Yeah, Pickens probably has a
Yeah.
floor of 0. So, but a ceiling of 25. You know? I mean, he could go out there and get 2 touchdowns and 80 yards on 3 catches. Yeah, our next matchup though, this is your
Yeah, I
guys
guess it
right
depends
here.
on.
We got the Patriots versus the Saints in New England at Gillette Stadium. Under over of 39.5 points. -1 for the Patriots. You think the Patriots come away with a win today?
Um, with it being in New England, I'm going to take my boys, but it's not going to be pretty. I think, 30, what you said, 38, 39 is the under over.
Yeah,
It's going
39
to
and a
be
half.
a ugly game. Derek Carr looks rough. The Patriots look rough. It's a defensive battle. I'm starting both defenses in this matchup. I would love to start both defenses in this matchup. I got the Saints in both leagues. I think it's okay to start New England's defense. On the Patriots side of the football, Hunter Henry, maybe if you didn't go tight end late in drafts, he's been pretty consistent.
That's right.
Outside of that, I'm trying to put Ramondre Stevenson on the bench. Let's see, Stevenson or
Kamara. Full
I'd go
PPR.
Kamara. Oh, full PPR. That's
Yeah,
obvious. That's Kamara.
Kamara had
He had
what,
13
11
catches
catches,
last week.
13? Yeah, that's insane. That's
Yeah, it was
incredible.
something like that. Yeah.
For like 30 yards.
Alexander Madison or Ramondre Stevenson.
Who do the Vikings have this week?
They had the Chiefs.
Yeah, I'm probably not starting either of them. Alexander Madison's looked good. Even with Cam Akers coming in, he's looked better after Cam Akers just came in. So
Yeah, I'd probably go Madison there personally. No Patriots receiver. You're not starting any of those receivers. You're not
no,
starting Mac Jones. On the Saints side of
no,
the ball, Olave's in, of course.
that's right.
Kamara's in. I think Kamara's in. I really do.
Yeah, definitely if
They got to
Derek
get him the
Carr's in the
ball.
game. I mean, Kamara should be in anyway. I mean, his talent is still incredible. But Derek Carr is likely to play. As of 9:30 this morning, says his health is improving. But don't be surprised to see Jameis Winston come into this ball game and throw a pick and a touchdown.
Throw an interception.
Yeah, yeah.
He
That
came in last
secondary.
week, just bombed one.
Yeah, that secondary for the Patriots is always great. I mean, Bill Belichick is a mastermind, but it sucks to see the Patriots lose Christian Gonzalez, who's been just an absolute playmaker for them. But I still don't think that secondary is going to struggle to
Yeah,
contain.
Christian Gonzalez looking like a steal.
Yeah, it sucks to see him go out. He had a torn labrum, out for the season. So
Yeah, him and Judon's out for the year.
Judon's
One of the
out.
top five, top 10 pass rushers in the league. You know, I'm gonna be honest, man. I just don't know if New England's gonna be able to contain these receivers, but I don't know if Derek Carr can get him the ball.
Yeah, I think I'm actually going to take the Saints to win this game. I mean, this is a pick 'em game, but I just think with all the injuries that the Patriots have,
Oh yeah, for sure. They get J.C. Jackson back, which I think is a plus for New England. Belichick knows how to
absolutely.
scheme with him, and they probably can plug him right back into what he was doing.
That's right.
2 years removed from that system.
You taking the
Yeah, I got New
over or
England
the
win this
under?
game, but it's not going to be pretty. I'm starting Olave. I'm starting Thomas in the flex. Uh, Outside of that, I mean, yeah, Kamara's in, but it's going to be an ugly game. I wouldn't want to watch this game.
Yeah,
Unfortunately,
right.
I'm going to because I'm a
Right, I
Patriots
have
fan,
to.
but I'm I'm not starting it. I mean, I'm not looking forward to watching this game.
Yeah, that's right. I wouldn't be either. I mean, it'll be a good defensive battle. I think you're going to see some fun defense. Like you said, you're
Yeah.
starting both of them in fantasy. You taking the over or the under in this game? 39 points.
Oh God, it's low, super low. I'm gonna
It is
go
low.
with the under. I'm
I'm
gonna go with
also
the
taking
under.
the under. Yeah, I'm also taking the under there. The next matchup we got is the Giants versus Miami. In Miami,
Oh man,
47.5 over under. Miami -12.5. This is going to be ugly.
you can start everybody in fantasy on the Miami side of the ball. Achan, Mostert, Hill, Waddle, Barrios in the flex. If you're in a full
I
PPR
am
and you
starting
really
him in
need
standard.
somebody, oh yeah, I mean, he could get a touchdown. I mean, they're going to put
That's
up
the
points.
look.
What's the under over for this game?
47.5.
It's fairly high. I think that's probably the majority of that is going to be Miami.
Yeah, I
They're
mean,
probably expecting the Giants not put up much, maybe 10 or
yes,
15.
it's going to be ugly, I think. But I do look to see some players for the Giants to have a little bounce back game. Keep an eye out for Wandale Robinson in this game and Darren Waller. Two
I like
players
that.
that I mean, I was big on Darren Waller coming into the season. I drafted him in fantasy in one league, and he has been very
I was
disappointing.
too.
Been very disappointing. So look to see him hopefully have a bounce back game this week. Um, hey, can you hear me?
Yeah, yeah, I got you. Yeah, Wandale Robinson, I really like, especially in PPR. They're dialing up plays for him. He's coming off the knee injury. I think it was an ACL. But each week they're giving him a little more snaps, and the plays they're calling are called for Wandale Robinson. If you're watching the game, so I think if he's on your waiver wire, you probably should be picking him up definitely in PPR and half point. Standard, we'll see. He can still have some. But he's running all those short underneath routes, to pick up first downs for Daniel Jones. And like you said, I really love. I think Waller gets back right in this game. I think Wando can be started. Breida is in
Yeah, Saquon being
with
out.
Saquon out. I don't want to put Breida in. Let's see, Breida or let's see who we got here. What's a good comp for Breida?
I'm starting Breida
Breida
in both leagues, so
or
I'm ready for this question.
Breida or Javante Williams if he plays.
I'm going Breida.
I'm going Breida there. Yeah, I think it's easy to plug in where you have Breida. I mean, I'd start Ramondre over Breida. I'd start Kamara over Breida. I'd start Najee over Breida. Outside of that, I think I mean, the Giants, I mean, anything else you want to talk about this game? I just think they're going to get slaughtered. I mean, plus 12 and a half. I mean, 80% of people they got Miami to cover 12 and a half points against the Giants in Miami.
Yeah, I'm okay with
I
that.
think that I'm okay with that too. I'm taking Miami to cover.
Yeah, and I'm taking the over on that game. 47 and a half points. You saw what happened with the Dolphins and the Broncos, and this Giants defense is just as bad. We're getting a little bit of lag issue. I don't know if we're cutting out or not, but yeah, I think we just went out for a second. I think we're back.
Okay.
No, we are still lagging. I might need to go into another room. My internet connection's not so good in here. Give me 1 second. We gonna move. Yeah.
Oh, we
Keep a lookout
get
for.
the tour.
Yeah, you get the tour of the house. Yeah, sorry, the internet connection's not so good right now. But yeah. What about Durham Smythe? How do you feel about him?
I think you can plug him in, especially if you went late in tight ends like I did. He's a start because of the matchup's going to be there's going to be a lot of points scored. You want a piece of that pie,
Oh,
and yeah, I'm okay with plugging Smythe in. I mean, he'd probably get you 3 or 4 points, but sometimes the tight end position that's all you kind of need. That's all
yeah,
you're asking for is just not get goosed.
that's right. Yeah, nobody wants to get goosed. Yeah, I'm 100% with you on that one. Durham Smythe or Zach Ertz?
Zach Ertz.
Durham Smythe or Hayden Hurst?
I'd go Smythe.
Okay, I like it. You're taking that. You're going betting on the over under there.
Yeah, yeah,
Okay, I think we're good.
yeah.
Back on the audio here. Let's pull this chat back up. How do I get this to pull back up?
Yeah, I think Miami's just going to blow them out.
Yeah,
I
it's
mean,
gonna be ugly.
it's going to be ugly.
It's gonna be ugly.
Anything else you want to go over in this game?
No, I think I'm good on that, man. I mean, it's gonna be a blowout. Start everybody on the Dolphins. Start Devon Achane.
Yeah.
Start Jeff Wilson. I don't care. He's not
Yeah.
even playing. Start him.
I don't even think he's back yet.
He'll start. He'll get a touchdown.
He still might
anyways.
find some way to get some points in this game.
Yeah, right. What's our next matchup in here?
Philly versus the Rams.
Yeah, Philly versus the Rams
And
in Los Angeles. In Los Angeles, Eagles -4. The over/under of 50.5 points.
a lot of points.
A lot of points. I think the reason for that being so high is because Cooper Kupp is back this week. This is going to be a close game. I think I'm taking Philly to win this game, but I'm taking the Rams to cover. I think this is going to be a nail biter in Los Angeles.
I think you're right, man. I feel the same way. I would take Philly. I think Philly wins, and I think the Rams keep it close. With Cooper Kupp back and Matthew Stafford playing better than expected, the secondary for Philly playing a little bit worse than expected. With
Right.
Bradbury and Slay, you expected a little bit more, but you're not getting that. We'll see. We'll see what happens. I think Puka Nakua's in. I think you can still throw Tutu Atwell in there. In the flex somewhere if you're really hurting. There's a lot of buys this week. Metcalf's off, Cooper's off, Keenan Allen's out. A lot of big name guys out this week.
Yeah, I think Tutu is
Yeah,
an interesting start, especially with that, like you said, the beat up secondary of the Philadelphia, which hasn't, even if they weren't beat up, they haven't been playing the best. But it'll be interesting to see how the pass rush from Philadelphia can do against Matt Stafford, who is a statue in the pocket.
yeah. I think that Cooper Kupp and Puka Nacua are going to be his best friend in getting that ball out quick.
That's right.
Both great, phenomenal route runners. They can run a lot of high-low concepts with those two guys. That's why I don't think it'll affect Tutu Atwell too much. I mean, it won't affect Puka that much with Cooper Kupp coming back. I think it really affects probably Tutu a little bit more, but I still think that Stafford's looking good enough to where you can plug Puka in. Obviously you're plugging in Cooper Kupp, and Tutu could be a little sneaky start, but I'm with you on this game. 55. This is a split on betting odds. 55% going towards Philly to cover the 4.5 or 4 points. I'm taking Philly to win. I'm taking the Rams plus the 4.
Yeah, I agree with you. The only thing that kind of makes me not want to take the Rams to cover is what we saw with the Eagles' defense against Tampa Bay. I feel like that offense is very comparable. Obviously, the difference is having Cooper Kupp back this week, but the problem is like when we saw Matt Stafford with Cooper Kupp, he's only throwing it to him, you know. And so we'll see how
Yeah,
this might be. I mean, who knows? This might be worse for Matt Stafford having Cooper Kupp back because he tries to be the one read guy that he's always been.
that's true. That's true.
But
Anything else you want to add to this game? Oh,
I'm
we
taking
haven't
the
got
under.
to the Philly.
Yeah,
Taking the under, I
I'm
would
taking the
take.
under in this game.
That's a lot of points. You said what was pushing 50, right?
50 and a half.
Yeah. I like the under in this game too. Yeah,
Yeah,
I
I
like the
think.
under in this game.
I mean, you saw what DeAndre Swift has been doing on the ground, and the Rams' run defense isn't good. I mean, the Rams' defense in general isn't good. So I expect to see a lot
Yeah.
of running from Philadelphia, setting up to play action to AJ Brown. But the thing is the Rams love to play that zone coverage. Sean McVay is a sucker for zone, so you're going to see Dallas Goedert do great this week. You're going to see Devontae Smith do great this week, and then hopefully, maybe even AJ Brown get in the end zone again this week. I mean, you saw he had a monster game against the Commanders last week.
Yeah, all those guys are in. I'm gonna be honest. I'm hanging on to Dallas Goddard. He's on the bench, and maybe you do play him, but I think that Tyler Higbee in a PPR. I mean, he's in. You just talked about the zones that they run. Tyler Higbee, he's good against the zone. So is Cooper Kupp. So is Puka Nakua. That's why I think this is going to be a close matchup.
Right.
Um, yeah, I'm trying to stay away from Goddard in
You
this
going
matchup. I'm really
Goddard
trying to stay
or
away from
Darren
Higbee
Waller
too.
this week?
I'm going Waller.
Okay, Goddard or Zach Ertz?
Oh man, I'm probably going Goddard. As
Hmm.
negative as it's been, I still think he's just the better player and has the most upside at the end of the day.
Yeah, I think I look to see Goddard get back right. I mean, they're trying to use him. They tried to use him downfield a little bit more last week. You saw some good plays and like some third and longs for him. So I expect to see Goddard, have a good get right game as well this week, just like with Darren Waller.
DeAndre Swift, obviously, and Kenneth Gainwell if you need. The running back landscape is bare
Yeah, there's definitely
right
potential for a
now.
touchdown.
Yeah, there's definitely potential for a touchdown. Outside of that, I think Jalen Hurts is in if you drafted him. So is
Right.
Smith and Brown and anything else you want to go over in this game. I think we both feel the same about this.
No, just this is going to be one of the best games of the week. I think keep an eye out for Cooper Kupp and see what he's doing. Keep an eye out for Matt Stafford to see him transition back into having a superstar wide receiver back on the field with him.
Yeah, he's definitely got weapons mixed with that McVay offense. I think they're starting to shine a little bit.
I do expect to see Jalen Hurts a lot more comfortable in the pocket again this week.
We'll see. It feels like he's been a little bit. He's been uncomfortable in the
He's been
pocket. You know.
uncomfortable, but last week you saw him get. I mean, it was a get right game for the Eagles a little bit. Obviously, the defense gave up more points than we wanted. Um, but Jalen Hurts looked good last week, I thought. I mean, he has a beautiful touch on the deep ball, and you're going to see Devontae Smith and Dallas Goedert really, really light it up this week.
Yeah, I'm not big on Goddard. You know, I think Goddard owners are probably panicking because they drafted him in the sixth, seventh round. But hopefully they'll get it right. The new offensive coordinator. It just doesn't seem like he's been planned into the offense like we expected, and has been as safe of a tight end option as we expected. But
Yeah,
yeah,
right. Brian Johnson.
I got Philly winning this game, but I got the Rams +4. I think it's going to be a tighter game than expected. But also wasn't surprised to see. It wouldn't surprise me to see, like you said, Stafford being a statue in the pocket and that pass rush just dominating. I can see
Right,
that being an issue for Stafford in this game getting ugly, but I think it's going to be close.
right. Our next matchup is kind of a fun matchup, man. The Cardinals versus the
It
Bengals.
is.
I
Yeah.
be on the alert for a Cardinals upset this week.
Yeah. It's
I'm
so
calling it
crazy
now.
that you're calling it the
I'm
upset.
calling the upset for this week. I've got I got Josh Dobbs going out there and doing his thing, man. Joe Burrow's looking hurt. He's not looking good. You got T Higgins out this week, and
Ooh, that's not good.
you've got the Cardinals who Josh Dobbs looks good. Marquise Hollywood Brown is starting to look better. James Conner always does his thing, and you got the rookie Michael Wilson, who's actually showing some really
Playing
nice, like
well.
bright flashes. So keep a lookout for everybody on the Cardinal side. I mean, Josh Dobbs is looking good, dude. Josh Dobbs is a fun player to watch right now.
Tyler Boyd or Rasheed Rice? Who
I'm
you
going
taking
Tyler
there?
Boyd.
I'm going Tyler Boyd there as
History's
well.
shown that anytime that T Higgins or Jamar Chase has been out, Tyler Boyd is getting touchdowns.
Yeah, I'm Tyler Boyd over a lot of
I do too. I'm big
players.
on
Let's
Tyler Boyd this
see.
week. If you're hurting and
Yeah,
Tyler Boyd's still available, pick him up, start him. I feel like he's a must start this week if you as like a wide receiver 3 or a flex
Tyler
option.
Boyd or Odell Beckham
Tyler
coming
Boyd.
back for Baltimore. I like Tyler Boyd there too. Tyler Boyd or Drake London.
Tyler Boyd.
I like Tyler Boyd there too. Tyler Boyd or Tank Dell.
Tyler Boyd.
I like Tank Dell there. Tyler Boyd or DeAndre Hopkins.
Tyler Boyd, but I changed my answer on the Drake London one. Drake London over Tyler Boyd.
I like that. I like that. Um, yeah, this game's going to be interesting. We all got eyes on the Cincinnati offense, and
Oh man, it's
the
hard not
more
to.
this goes on, the more pressure they're putting on Burrow, you
Right?
know?
I mean, he just got
And the
paid all that
more,
money.
no,
Whew.
what's his name's in? Mixon's in,
Yeah,
Chase is
Jamar's
in,
in.
Burrow's out. Don't start, I'm not starting Burrow.
I'm not starting
Let's
Burrow
see,
either.
Burrow or Kirk Cousins versus Kansas City.
Kirk Cousins. Kirk Cousins is
Me too.
tied for the most passing touchdowns in the league and hasn't even played this week.
Burrow or Stafford versus Philly.
Stafford versus Philly for sure. With Cooper Cup coming
I
back, I
agree with
expect
that.
Stafford is actually my start of the week for fantasy football quarterbacks this week.
I like that. I like that. It's a sneaky little start. Burrow or Danny Dimes versus Miami.
Danny Dimes. You saw the Dolphins defense is putrid.
I'm going to actually go with Burrow here. And I know
Oof.
that most people probably go Danny Dimes, but I'll be honest. Danny Dimes has had some great matchups. He's only produced once this week. And I understand what's going on with Burrow, but I have a feeling at some point this got to get right. At
Yeah, I
some
think you're
point.
right. I think you're
I
right.
don't know if it's this week, but I just can't roll out Danny Dimes and see him shit the bed
Ever,
again
ever.
and then be happy with what I did.
Yeah,
I'd go Burrow there, but I think that that's a close one. I think that's where
I
the
get
line
that.
is. Danny Dimes, Burrow.
That's a very good question. That's a tough
Like,
start.
I
That's a
might go
tough start
Danny
to
Dimes.
sit.
I'm switching it. I'm switching. I'm going Danny Dimes
Yeah,
over Burrow.
the
I hate
rushing
it. It's
potential.
nasty. Yeah,
Nasty.
it's nasty. Bengals favored 3 points. Are favored by 3 points in this game. The betting odds are going
Internet
58%
won't work.
with Arizona +3. I think that Arizona gets the
I'm still
upset. They've
live.
been playing better than expected all year. You know, they beat the Cowboys. They took the Giants to the wire. They took Washington to the wire. I think that Cincinnati until they show signs of improvement. I think that's what I'm getting at is that
I'm
I'm
taking
just
Arizona
staying away.
to cover. I'm taking Arizona straight up in this game. I know this is a bold prediction, and we've talked about this with our survival strategies about how week 5 we were looking for this matchup. If the Bengals were getting
Uh-huh.
right, then we were going to take the Bengals over the Cardinals. I would not take the Bengals or the Cardinals in survival this week because I'm taking the Cardinals to win. I'm calling a potential upset, but I don't know.
Yeah, I think this is a bad place to be if you're if because we were going to pick Cincinnati over Arizona in survival, and
If they
now
look good,
if they look good, but they don't. So
and
it's
so
a
my
sit around and
but
wait with Burrow. I got Burrow on the bench. James Conner, he's in.
yeah, James Conner's definitely in. I think Hollywood Brown's in. I think I mean in deep leagues. I mean, I'm starting Hollywood Brown as a wide receiver too. I'm starting Michael Wilson as a potential wide receiver 3 or flex. I mean, if you're down bad, a lot of bye weeks this week. Um, you know the Seahawks are on a bye this week, and the Chargers are on a bye this week. So you definitely got some tough situations there. The Bucks are on a bye. So I think there's one more team on a bye. I forget who else. But yeah, definitely looking to for survival. I'm starting. I was looking to pick the Lions over the Panthers this week. I know we've already talked
I
about
like
that
that.
game.
That's probably the safest option. Yeah,
Yeah, or Miami over the Giants at home.
I like that too. Yeah, on the Cincinnati side of the ball, Chase is in. Mixon, I think he's in. That's a good matchup for Mixon. They need to take a lot of pressure. They need Mixon to take some pressure off of Burrow. Burrow, I'm waiting to see. Yeah, Tyler Boyd, I like him as a sneaky little flex start. Outside of that, Dobbs or Burrow in this game? Who you starting in fantasy?
Dobbs. I think Dobbs is a great start this week.
Oh man, I
Dobbs or
got him
Matt
plugged
Stafford.
in. I thought about it, but Stafford doesn't clear waivers until tomorrow. Unfortunately,
Yeah, but Dobbs or Matt Stafford though.
I think I would go Dobbs.
Yeah, I think I'm going
Stafford
Matt
hadn't hit
Stafford.
20 points. Stafford hadn't hit 20 points all season. I think it's only the highest he's hit 17. He doesn't have the rushing floor that
That's
Dobbs
true.
has,
That's true.
and I think that Arizona's gonna. I don't know. I think I like Dobbs. I like Dobbs.
Yeah, I'm actually I changed my answer to Dobbs. We got a couple more guys joining into the chat, so leave questions with anything you're
Going on,
thinking
fellas?
about. You need some answers. We got them. That might not be the right answer, but it is an answer.
Oh, it's going to be the right answer. You can take it to the bank.
Hey, we've been killing it on our over under predictions and our win loss predictions. I don't
We
think
have, man.
I would say we're shooting probably like 650.
We're shooting solid, man.
Yeah, we
I know
definitely over half.
we called the Indianapolis upset against Baltimore. We called the Houston upset against the
Jacksonville.
past 2 weeks. Jacksonville. Yeah, we've called a lot of upsets. Let's see. Anything else you want to go over with the Cincinnati Arizona game? I feel like
This is me calling the upset again this week. Cardinals are going to go out there and get their second win of the year. The Bengals are going to start 1-4, and then I think you might be looking to see Joe Burrow get benched next week. I
you
think
think they're
he's
going to sit them
struggling.
down if they go 1-4.
Yes, I think he's struggling with his health, and it's just not worth the risk keeping him out there and just allowing him to get more hurt.
The schedule gets real brutal for Cincinnati on the back end too. I think yeah, you could be right. They might shut them down if they go 1-4 because why? Why are you going to
Especially after
risk
paying him
your
all that money.
multi-million-dollar quarterback? They're 1-4. You're kind of getting beat up out there. I could see that. I don't think they'll do it, but I could definitely see that happening.
Right. You what's the over under for this game again?
I don't have the under
I
overs
can
pulled up. I got
pull that
the
up real quick.
Mixon
45,
or
45 points over under in this game. Are you taking the over or the under?
taking the under.
I'm also taking the under there. I think 45 is a little high. I mean, you got
I
Josh
think it's a
Dobbs
little high
quarterback
too.
and a beat up Bengals offense with T. Higgins out and Joe Burrow struggling.
Yeah, and they haven't looked good either. Mixon or James Conner in this matchup.
I'm taking James Conner.
Me too.
James Conner's just been a volume machine. He looks amazing. And Mixon hasn't
Yeah.
really looked that good. He looks old and slow. He looks like Najee Harris
He
out
looks
there.
like a 3 yards a carry kind of guy.
Yeah.
He kind of looked like that last year a little bit.
James Conner, every time he runs the ball, he looks so mad. He reminds me a lot of
Yeah.
Isaiah Pacheco. Like, if you give him the ball, he's going to produce.
Isaiah Pacheco, man.
With
Yeah, I got
you
that one wrong
stomping.
against him versus the Chiefs,
Yeah, you did.
or the Chiefs versus
Versus
the
the
Jets the other
Jets,
week.
yeah. He ran
Yeah,
great. And that's why I think Jaleel McLaughlin in this next matchup, the Jets versus the Broncos. This is a fun matchup. Over under 43 points, Denver minus 2.5. I'm calling it again. We've got another upset in the making. The Jets are going to go out there and win this game.
I think you're right. I think they do too. We finally saw signs of Zach Wilson. I don't know. I don't think you'll. I'm not counting on that. I'm not betting on that. You know, Zach Wilson against Denver or Josh Dobbs against Cincinnati. Who you got?
Oh, I'm not starting Zach Wilson. So there's that.
Yeah, that's some. You got to have this big stones to start
You got to
Zach
have big
Wilson
stones to start Zach
this
Wilson, man.
week.
But if you're going to start him, this is the week. I mean, he played great against Kansas City as far as a quarterback perspective.
Yeah, this is the only time in the universe you can start Zach Wilson. It seems
Yeah.
like, and I still don't have the guts to do it.
I'm starting Allen
Uh,
Lazard in this matchup. I think he's got a great matchup against Denver.
it's definitely a great matchup. Yeah, I like Tyler Conklin's kind of sneaky too
Conk, conk.
on the tight end position for the Jets going against Denver. I think Brees Hall just has a day
Oh
this
yeah,
week.
he's gonna have an amazing day. They've already said that they're not limiting his snap count anymore. He's getting full workload. But I mean, even look out for Dalvin Cook, dude. Dalvin Cook is still Dalvin Cook at the
Yeah,
end of the day.
I was going to say that. I mean, they say they're going to give him the full workload, but they're going to run the ball a lot, and this is a great matchup. I think Dalvin Cook has some flexibility appeal,
Yeah, some flex appeal.
Some flex appeal. Yeah, I
Some
like
flex
that. I like
appeal.
that.
One
Um,
thing I really enjoy watching whenever I watch the Jets play is Robert Saleh on the sideline. He's such a funny guy to watch. If you guys want
he
to
is.
enjoy yourself, just tune in. Every time they show Robert Saleh on the sideline, he's always making some ridiculous face where he's like, you can
Yeah,
tell he's
mad
pissed
as
off,
hell.
but he's like, he just like contains it so well. He's a very funny person to watch on the sideline. That's somebody I really enjoy.
He's a great I mean, defensive mind too. Came from that from the 49ers, NaVar
That's right.
Bowman, Patrick
That's
Willis.
right.
I think he was a coach for them then. Um, on the Denver side,
This
I'm trying
is
to stay away from the backfield completely. This is a terrible matchup, and you already don't really know what's going to happen back there.
Yeah,
Yeah,
this
I'm
is
trying
a
to stay
game
away from
time
the.
decision. I know that Javante Williams, they said it's a hip flexor injury, which is bad. That's the same injury that Jamar Chase was dealing with, and you
They
saw
kept
how
him out
that
last
turned
year.
out. They kept him out last year, so
Yeah,
uh, I don't think they risk starting Javante, but he's a game time decision. They're going to find out in the pregame warmups. I do really like this is something we've disagreed on, but I really like Jaleel McLaughlin if Javante's out.
the rookie. Yeah, yeah. If Javante's in, I don't even like the matchup, and that's knowing where the volume's going to go. I'm staying away from all Denver running backs here. If I had to pick one between McLaughlin and Piron, I lean more towards Piron. I think he's a pretty solid player, veteran, a guy who can really catch balls out of the backfield. Um, the receivers here, Jerry Judy, you're benching Jerry Judy, I noticed in the other league. How
Yeah,
you
I'm
feel about
benching
that?
Jerry Judy. I mean, Russell Wilson is he's not good, man. He's bad at football. Russell Wilson's not good. And this Jets defense, you saw what it did to the Chiefs last week. I mean, the Chiefs only scored 20 points.
Yeah.
So if Zach Wilson, they're going to go out there and try to run the ball. And you saw what Isaiah Pacheco did against the Jets. I look to see the Broncos trying to run the ball this week too, giving it to their playmakers, which obviously, I mean, Piron and McLaughlin aren't exactly their playmakers, but you saw, I mean, McLaughlin had a great game last week. I do expect to see Marvin Mims, though, get a very good workload this week. He needs to anyway.
You would expect him to do it, or you would expect him to trade Judy or Sutton,
Something.
because Marvin Mims has been more than efficient.
Every time
He's
he gets
been
the ball, it's a
balling
40
out.
yard, it's a 40-yard bomb or a punt or kickoff return for a touchdown or
It's every week. He's like,
every week.
Shaheen for the Saints is the same way. It's
That's
like
right.
you got to get these guys, these playmakers, more touches. And
It's like Jahan
on
Dotson.
the Jahan Dotson, they definitely need to get him going instead of he's kind of playing the Michael Pittman role of last year, just to
Right.
underneath little 6-yard routes. It's like no, get him vertical, man.
Zay Jones or Zay Flowers, sorry.
Oh yeah, same thing with Zay
Yeah.
Flowers. Yeah, Sutton and Judy. I'm starting Judy over Sutton, but I don't want to start Judy.
Right.
Judy or Tyler Boyd.
Tyler Boyd. I'm big on Tyler Boyd
I'll,
this week.
I'll probably lean towards Judy there just because the quarterback play is so bad in Cincinnati right now.
It is, but
Um,
I mean, you're still that's a good point. That's a good point.
they still got to play football. They still got to
Still
play
got to play
football. You
football,
know,
and it's
like
against a very bad Cardinals defense
yeah.
that let
Um,
Daniel Jones come back with a 24-point lead or whatever it was,
I
21
know how
points.
awful. Um, yeah, Judy, I don't like him being in, but sometimes you got to force him in, especially with bye weeks out.
Yeah,
Anything you want to go over in this matchup? I mean, 70% of betting odds are flowing towards the Jets plus 2.5.
yeah.
I
I'm
think the
taking the
Jets win
Jets for an
straight
upset.
up.
Yeah, I'm taking the Jets for another
Yeah,
upset. We got the Cardinals over the Bengals as an upset for me, and I've got the Jets over the Broncos as an upset. Over under is 43 points. You taking the over the under there?
I'm taking the under.
That one's a little closer for me. If Zach Wilson can play like he did last week, I could see this being close to the over. But I mean, you got to think last week the Jets and Chiefs were under 43 points, so I'm taking the under here. I don't think Denver's going to be better than the Chiefs' offense, and the only bad thing is Denver's defense is terrible.
Brees Hall or David Montgomery this week?
Oh man, I'm going David Montgomery, dude.
Me too. Brees Hall or James Conner?
I'm going James Conner. That was close though.
Brees Hall or Kyron Williams against the front seven of Philly?
Brees Hall.
I'm going Brees Hall there too. Okay. Anything else you want to go over in this game? I think we both got the Jets with the upset.
Yeah, both got the Jets to the upset. We're taking both of us taking the under too. Yeah, I think it's gonna be a fun game too. I mean, like I said, watch Robert Sala on the sideline. He's a gem to watch.
Kansas City versus Minnesota in Minnesota. Minnesota just you're finally starting to see, they caught every break possible last year. They had a negative turnover point differential and still had a positive uh,
A very
record at the end
positive
of the
record.
season. Yeah, crazy 73% of betting odds are
They're third
picking
in the
Kansas
NFC
City
last
to
year.
cover the 3.5. I, I, man, this is tough.
I'm taking Kansas City to cover there.
I'm taking Kansas City to cover the 3.5 too. I think this is a pretty safe bet.
Yeah, but 52 and a half over under. I'm taking the under in this game. I mean, we don't know what's going on with the Kansas City receiving corps still. And you've seen that they've kind of relied on Isaiah Pacheco and that defense. Minnesota's defense is bad though,
It's bad.
and their
Pacheco, he
offense
is
is good.
in. Yeah, Pacheco's in. Somebody's going to have a good day outside of Travis Kelsey as far as the receivers go. Sky Moore, Rasheed Rice. Who else is there? Help me out here.
Sky Moore,
Um,
Shee Rice, Kadarius Tony.
Darius Tony. Oh yeah, like
Um,
trying to stay
who's
away
the
from that.
who's the other receiver they picked up? To play with Clemson. John Ross.
Oh, John. No, not John Ross. It was
John
something
Ross is on
Ross.
there.
Yeah.
Justin
Oh,
Ross.
Justin Ross. Okay, maybe
Justin
that's what it
Ross.
is.
Yeah, Justin Ross will play with Clemson.
Yeah, I like Kansas City to cover. I like the over in this game. I think you're going to see a shootout. Kansas City's defense could do a little something, but Kirk Cousins, outside of last week, has been a top five quarterback. You have Justin Jefferson there. You got Hawkins there. Expect Addison
KJ
to come back and have
Osborne,
a solid
Addison,
game. Yeah,
Alexander
and
Madison, Cam Akers. It's a good offense.
it's a good offense. It's a good offense, but I don't think it's going to be enough. They just Kansas City just has a better defense. That's going to be able to do more to slow down the
And
opposing
Patrick
offense.
Patrick Mahomes is. I mean, obviously he's got all the talent in the world, but his mental is where he shines. I mean, he's such a patient quarterback. You see him do like some boneheaded stuff where he runs backwards against the Dolphins for 40 yards or whatever, and gets sacked. But
That's all right.
like that, you're gonna have that with an improviser like Mahomes. I mean, he's everybody always loves to be all over Mahomes and the media, and it's for a good reason. I mean, he's a very smart and talented quarterback. Um, but yeah, I mean, Kirk Cousins is tied for the most touchdowns in the league right now with Justin Fields. And Justin Fields has one game over him, so you're going to see Kirk Cousins ball out. He does it every week.
He's killed. That's my point. Is that he's going to be able to keep up, but I think the Kansas City defense is just going to be the difference here. It's just been playing a lot better, and that's just going to give you an edge when you match defense to defense here. It just seems like Kansas City's got a large edge, and
That's
they're
right.
going to be able to make some plays on third down to get the ball back. they'll be able to do enough on defense, and Mahomes will just carve this Minnesota defense up. I like them to cover the 3.5 here, and calling the over here is a little odd because I think Kansas City's defense is good, but I think it's going to be a shootout, like a 28 to maybe like a 24-31 type game. Kansas City wins.
Yes, yeah, I disagree. I think it's going to be more of a run the ball. I mean, you saw the reason the Vikings, if they were playing any other team last week, they lose. I mean, you saw the pick six on the goal line. Alexander Madison's looked good, and they gave him the ball more after that pick six. So
Yeah.
I'm looking to see Alexander Madison run the ball a good bit, maybe throw some stuff out of the backfield, warm Kirk Cousins up, and then I don't believe in that receiving core for the Chiefs. So I think it's going to be a slow game, just like it was for both teams last week.
I could see that. So you're taking the under?
I'm taking the under.
It's a high over for sure. Let's see, Jordan Addison or Tyler Boyd.
We're Jordan Addison.
I like that too. Jordan Addison or George Pickens.
George Pickens.
I like Addison there, but I understand why you picked Pickens. He seems a little safer.
They're the same. They're the same guy, but I feel like George Pickens is safer.
I like that. I think you're getting better quarterback play out of Kirk Cousins, so that's what I'm going with.
That's
In
understandable.
a game where they're going to be forced to throw the ball.
That's true.
Anything else? I'm trying to stay away from Kansas City receivers. If I had to pick one, Rasheed Rice.
Yeah. Rasheed Rice is. He's shown some good flashes. He's a rookie, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I like that. I like that. Yeah, taking the under in that game, but I can see why you want to take the over. Two high-powered offenses typically.
Anything else you want to cover in this game? Kirk Cousins or who we got here? Kirk Cousins.
Or Jared Goff.
I like that. I'm going Cousins. I'm going Cousins. I think Jared Goff's just missing a lot of weapons right now.
Yeah, Reynolds, Gibbs, and Amon-Ra. I mean, that's three huge pass-catching weapons. Next we got Dallas and San Francisco. This is a big matchup, man.
The game of the week, for sure.
Yeah, it's the game of the week. We talked about this game on Facebook with our post. Kellen Moore leaving Dallas. Can Dallas pull off the upset today?
Hey, I don't think they can. I just think the defense is going to be too much. I think losing Kellen Moore, we talked about it, we posted about it, has hurt the Cowboys. CeeDee Lamb's been okay.
Yeah, big time.
Outside of CeeDee Lamb, I mean, where's Brandon Cooks? Everyone was excited about. Where's Michael Gallup that they signed? After the torn ACL. Pollard's been okay. I think that they're all going to have a terrible day. Fred Warner, Nick Bosa are going to be nasty. Fifth-ranked San Francisco defense really going to get after them. It's at Levi Stadium, and I think that Purdy can get the hand. He's the perfect guy for that offense. He gets the ball out of his hands quick. He understands the offense. He's got all the playmakers around him. And I think that with McCaffrey too, being able to move the chains,
the offense is going to be too much. Yeah. But now I do expect to see the Cowboys offense pick it up this week. I think, like you said, you haven't seen Cooks and Gallup, and I think this is the week you're going to see that. Like I said earlier, in those tough divisional matchups, you always see everybody getting the ball. You got to spread it around against tough defenses, and that's exactly what you're going to see here. It's not a divisional matchup, but it's close. I mean, the 49ers...
It's definitely a rivalry for sure.
Yeah, it is. The 49ers and the Cowboys have played each other in the playoffs 2 years in a row. I think this game is going to be very close.
I think so,
the Cowboys' offense is going to shine. I think that you're going to see a better Dak Prescott this week, just 'cause I think he does perform well under pressure.
Okay.
So I'm actually looking to maybe start Gallup and Cooks with bye weeks around. You got injuries around on receivers. I'm probably starting Gallup over Cooks, just because Gallup's been there in that offense.
I will start Gallup over Cooks, but I'm staying away from everybody outside of CeeDee Lamb.
Yeah, I think you're going to see just how Bill Belichick shuts down the number one option on teams. I think you're going to see the 49ers try to do that with CeeDee Lamb, and I think that's why Gallup's going to get a lot of underneath stuff to avoid the pass rush.
I'm taking San Francisco minus the 3.5. I think the moment's going to be too big for Prescott. I think the defense is going to be too tough. It's in Levi Stadium. Christian McCaffrey, you can't stop them. Brock Purdy looks great. They look like the Super Bowl favorites right now, and I think they're going to continue to look like that. 68% of betting odds are going towards San Francisco to cover the 3.5. I'm on that side. What's the under over in this game? Do you know?
Probably not super high, I'd imagine. 45 points.
Oh, like
Okay,
a
that's high.
45. Yeah, that's what I was
That's
going to
pretty
say.
high. Yeah, what's really exciting about the 49ers this year and the Eagles too is they both have incredibly tough schedules. Um, like the 49ers playing the Cowboys. I think they play the Chiefs, the Bills. Like they play all the tough teams. Oh no, they play the Chiefs, the Chargers. I want to say that they're playing the AFC West.
Yeah.
And then the Eagles have a tough division too. They play the 49ers this year. So one of those teams are not going to come out undefeated. It's a super exciting schedule. Like you said, the Super Bowl favorite. So whichever team comes out on top of the NFC definitely has earned it. And that's what's exciting about this matchup right here.
If you got both of these defenses, I'm playing them both. You don't drop these defenses. You just hope for some plays, some sacks. There's going to be a turnover or two, and maybe they get you 10 points, and maybe they get you
Um,
more.
yeah, I think with Brock Purdy and Dak Prescott, they're both liable to turn the ball over against these
Yeah,
defenses,
they're
like
going
you
to take some
said.
sacks. There's going
They're
to
gonna
be a
take some
pick or two.
sacks.
Yeah,
There could be some defensive scores. You got Keontae Turpin on the Cowboys. He's such an amazing return man. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised to see him
good
get a touchdown this
playmaker.
week.
Yeah, McCaffrey's in, Pollard's in. I'm not starting Pretty or Dak in this game.
I agree with that.
The
Maybe
defenses are
Purdy.
too brutal.
Maybe Purdy because of the
Maybe
offense.
Pretty. Pretty or Dak Prescott? Who you going?
Oh, Purdy.
I'm going Pretty with that as
What about
well.
Purdy or Joe Burrow?
Pretty.
Purdy or Josh Dobbs?
Josh Dobbs.
Purdy or Matt Stafford?
Pretty. That's tough. Yeah, I'll go
I
Pretty.
think I'm going Matt Stafford on that one. Um, yeah, it's gonna be a fun matchup, man. This is like you said, it's the game of the week. Be looking out for that Cowboys offense to see if he can spread the ball around. I mean, Dak Prescott hasn't looked great for fantasy, but he's looked great for the NFL. I mean, he's 4 touchdowns, 1 interception, and what, like 900 passing yards right now. So not
Yeah.
incredible, but I mean, he's being safe. Last year he led the league in
They've
interceptions,
done, yeah.
and this year you can tell they're trying to give Tony Pollard that workload, so you avoid those turnovers.
Who you got in this game?
I'm taking San Francisco to win. Right now the odds have changed to -2 points for the 49ers, and I think I take them to cover that.
I feel the same way.
We
Let's
got
see.
Green Bay and Las Vegas tonight in Las Vegas. Minus
Is
one
that
point
that's
for
the
the
Monday
Raiders.
night game?
Oh, is
Wait,
it?
that's the Monday night game, right? Yeah.
Yeah, I think you're right. You're right about that. Yeah, tonight's
Yeah.
game is the Cowboys and the 49ers. Or is that
Yeah.
right? Yeah, that's
Yeah.
right. Okay.
Tonight's game is Cowboys Niners, yeah.
Okay, that
Monday
makes sense. I
is
mean, the Cowboys are always Sunday night football. It feels like.
this one for me is upset. It's upset alert. I think Green Bay wins this game.
I'm with you on that, man. I think we got 3 upsets calling already. We got the or for me anyway, I've got the Cardinals beating the 40 or the Bengals, and then we've got who was the other one? The Jets beating the Broncos, and now we've got the Packers beating the Raiders. Be on the lookout for these upsets, man.
Yeah, I feel like we might see a little bit today. Yeah, I think the Packers win this game. Aaron Jones, I know he's questionable. I think he's going to be out there. I think he's going to have a bounce back game. Christian Watson, I don't know how the hamstring's doing. I know he popped up late this week.
He
Did he not?
is healthy,
That'll be big.
cleared to play. Was not listed in the injury designation ahead of Monday's contest, and he still has 2 days to stretch and get right. So it's good that they're playing on Monday for him.
You starting Jimmy Garoppolo or you starting Jordan Love in fantasy in this game?
Um, I don't want to start either of them. That's bad. That's
If you
terrible. I
had to
guess if I
pick,
had to pick, I'm taking. I guess I'm taking Jordan Love.
I'd take Love for sure. 77% of betting odds are going towards Green Bay to win, or Green Bay to at least Green Bay in the 2.5 or 2 points.
Yeah, Green Bay +2.
Yeah, it kind of shocks me that Vegas is favored by 2 points. They're 1-3. I guess them being at home, maybe they're saying on the neutral field this would be a pick'em game.
Yeah,
But I think Green Bay pulls it out, man.
yeah. Josh Jacobs is gonna have a great game.
Oh yeah. What
I don't
about
know
the
if
revenge game for our guy Devontae
Devontae.
Adams?
Yeah, I think he's gonna have a great game too. I mean, Devontae Adams is matchup proof pretty much. I mean, he's great every single game.
Quarterback proof, matchup proof. He does have
Yeah,
an
it doesn't
injury
matter.
right now. I don't know if he's going to play. Something to monitor. Jacoby Myers, I got him starting as a wide receiver 3 in fantasy
Okay.
in place of DK Metcalf and Cooper. I kind of like it with Garoppolo being back. He's
Yeah.
the check down guy. I like that start. Jacobs is in. Adams is in. Outside of that, anybody on the Vegas side you want to target?
No. I mean, like you said, Jacoby Myers, Devontae Adams, of course, is in your lineup if he plays. Josh Jacobs and Jacoby Myers, though, I feel like are great starts this week. Who's the tight end out there?
Michael Mayer, I believe, from Notre
Yeah.
Dame.
Yeah, I'm staying away from that for sure.
Yeah, me too. On the Green Bay side of the ball, even if Jones will play, he's in.
Yeah, but he
Dobbs, I
might
feel
be
like
out.
if he's out, I think it is not. It's not fun to put in AJ Dillon,
Yeah,
but
that's a nasty start.
it's a nasty start. But every running back is a nasty start right now. The running back production in fantasy football is at an all-time low. So we're all scrambling on the waiver wire, looking for guys like P. Ryan and McLaughlin and guys like Breida and guys like Justice Hill and Gus Edwards and there's just a
Yeah,
lot
it's
of
not
guys that
fun.
aren't for not fun.
But I
So
mean,
if you had to plug in AJ Dillon last minute because you had an injury, I get it. Outside of that, I'm not starting him.
yeah. What about
If
Jaden Reed?
Jaden Reed he's probably on your waiver wire. The beat reporters for Green Bay have been raving about this guy. They spent a second round pick on him. He's a guy I've been watching since the offseason. They really believe in this guy. He's the punt returner. He always makes plays. Kind of a Marvin Mims thing going on there,
Well, I
to
mean
where it's
his
like the guy's super efficient.
yeah he's got I mean his floor right now this year the least amount of points he's scored in fantasy is 7.7 points in half PPR. That's the
It's like,
least.
why can't we plug him in? It's because the volume isn't there. They're not putting him in. He's getting like very low percent of snap counts.
Yeah, he is getting low percent of snap counts. So you starting him or Marvin Mims this week in a pinch?
That's a good one. I think I'm gonna just go with Mims and ride it out. They're both kind of the same guy, and Mims has been playing better, so I think I'd go with Mims there.
See, I take the opposite route just because of the Jets defense being so good. Um, yeah, I'm going
I
Jordan
get
Reed or
that.
Jaden Reed on that one. Yeah, then Romeo Dobbs, you're starting him. Christian Watson, you're starting him. Anything else you want to talk about in this matchup?
Romeo Dobbs or Jordan Addison?
Romeo Dobbs. Oh, I'm going Romeo Dobbs. I thought
I'm
Romeo
going Romeo
Dobbs is
Dobbs.
potentially the one in this matchup. I mean, Christian Watson's the one, but he's still battling with the injury. I mean, you saw last week when he was questionable with the hamstring, he came out and had 2 catches. Romeo Dobbs is getting 10 targets a game. He's getting 8+ targets every
Romeo
week.
Romeo Dobbs or Puka Nakua for the Rams?
I'm going Puka. We've
I'm
seen
going
nothing
Puka. I'm
but
riding
we've
that out
seen
to the
nothing but
fucking
dominance from Puka, regardless if Cooper comes back or not. I can't deny the volume and the success that Puka's had.
Puka. Yeah, I'm riding that out to the wheels fall off. Let's see. Yeah, I think outside. Anything else in this matchup? The tight ends. Who's the tight end in Green Bay?
Luke
Musgrave.
Musgrave, I
Yeah, you
think
can
he's
plug
hurt.
him in. They're saying he's going to play. I think they're
Okay.
saying he's going to play.
Yeah, so we're
Dobbs
taking
is
Green Bay for
in.
the upset. 45.5 points. You going over or under on this game?
I'm going to go. I'm
Under.
going to go over. I'm
Oh,
going to go
okay.
over in this
Okay,
game.
I'm going under in
I
this
think it's
game.
going
I
to be
think
a
it's gonna be
fun. I
close.
think it's going to be a fun Monday night game. There's going to be some points. Yeah, I think. Yeah. As far as Jaden Reed goes, if you have a guy that's hurt that you don't know that's starting late, in this game, like Devontae Adams, you don't know if he's
Or
going to play.
Christian Watson, or Aaron Jones in your flex.
Any of those guys, yeah, pay attention to Jalen Reed and put him in the lineup if any of those guys are out. I think that's a good last minute pivot. Outside of that, I'm not putting Reed in for anybody really. But
That's
if you
right.
have to pivot late, he is the guy because he's not going to goose you. He's going to
I'm
get
a
you 4 or 5. He could have a touchdown.
I'm gonna say right now, if you're a fantasy player and you just want a little stash, you feel like your team's good, you have the ability to stash somebody. Stash Jaden Reed, stash Marvin Mims. Guys like that are
Yeah,
they're on the come
yeah,
up.
I'd agree with that. Then to come up.
Yeah, they're on the come up.
Yeah, Josh Jacobs is in. Outside of that, I'm not starting any of these defenses. They're both going to get. I feel like going to get torched. Anything else you want to go over with this game?
Now that's actually our last matchup. If anybody has any questions in the comments, let us know. We'll go over some quick start set decisions if you guys are struggling on who you want to start. I know with the bye weeks in, I know it's with the Seahawks, the Chargers, the Bucks, and who else is on a bye this week?
The Browns. I know the Browns are on the
The
bye.
Browns. Okay, so yeah, definitely some struggle there. I mean, the waiver wires are tight. This is where the waiver wire is really starting to matter. You're going to start seeing injuries in these players. You're going to start seeing bye weeks coming up. Players losing their job. Like, you're going to see a lot of stuff. People got coming off the pup, like Cooper Kupp and Jonathan Taylor. Be on the lookout for those two guys today.
Yeah, eyes on them. Don't drop Zach Moss and don't drop Tutu Atwell or Nakua. I mean, obviously you're not dropping those guys, but I know it's scary with Cooper Kupp coming back. I don't think there's any reason to worry there. Yeah, definitely got eyes on that Tennessee. I mean, there's a lot of good matchups this week.
For sure. That's the great thing about the
Jacksonville
NFL.
11. Jacksonville up 11-7 against Buffalo right now.
Still,
4:25 left in the game.
Jacksonville has the ball.
Jacksonville has the ball. Yeah, that's going to be interesting to see how that comes down.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, be on the lookout for the upsets that we called for. I called for the Cardinals over the Bengals. Then we got
Like
the Jets over the Broncos, and we've got the
like
Packers
that.
over the Raiders.
I think we're both on the same page here. I'm trying to find any other upsets. You kind of called for a little bit of something with that Baltimore Pittsburgh game, but I think that we both are on the same page. We think Baltimore's going to win, but they're not
This
going to
will be a
cover
close
four and a
divisional
half.
game. That's right.
Yeah, yeah. Detroit, take them in survival against Carolina. I think that's the
Yeah,
best bet.
yeah.
A little scary for Detroit, a little banged up, but
The
I
pass
think
rush
they're
will be
going
too
to.
much for Bryce Young.
The pass rush will be too much, and Montgomery and Goff will get it done.
Right.
They'll get it done.
You got anything else you want to talk about?
I don't think I do, man. Any start sit questions anybody want to go over before we
Oh yeah, we got
head
one.
on
Someone
out?
asked Jarrett McKinnon or Gus Edwards.
Oh, we get nasty.
Yeah,
We're
that's real
getting
nasty.
nasty out
I'm leaning
here.
towards Gus
PPR, is
Edwards
it
there.
PPR or standard?
That's Ben Fricks asking.
PPR or standard? Do we know?
We do not know. I'm waiting on a comment. We got to remember we're like
I
a 15
think I
second
would
delay.
go. I guess either way.
I'll leave
I
Gus
would go.
Edwards.
I go Gus Edwards. I think either way.
Yeah, I'll leave Gus
PPR,
Edwards.
maybe I would think about McKinnon, but if it's half point or normal, I think I would just go Gus Edwards.
No, I think I go Gus Edwards regardless. Like we were talking about, the entire backfield for the Ravens is murdered, just beat up. And Justice Hill, even whenever Justice Hill has been in there with Gus Edwards, you hadn't really seen him get the volume. Gus Edwards will probably get 14 carries and maybe 2 catches. So I'm looking for the volume. Gus Edwards is a volume play for me this week.
Yeah, I don't know if he'll get 14 carries. He might. I think
Or
it's going to be
14
a
touches,
split
sorry.
backfield. 14 touches. Yeah. Yeah, I'm going Edwards, and I think I'm going him even in
Regardless.
PPR.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, I think I'm going. Yeah,
Yeah,
Gus Edwards or
McKinnon
McKinnon.
could get in the end zone against the Vikings. You know that they love to scheme up some stuff to get him in the end zone, but
Yeah.
that's the only thing you're really playing for McKinnon is a touchdown. Or
I
maybe
mean, I feel like
garbage
you're
time.
kind of the same situation with Gus Edwards. I mean, the volume, you might have a little bit more volume with Gus Edwards, but
The good thing with Gus Edwards is he gets all the goal line work.
yeah, I'm going Gus Edwards regardless.
Yeah.
And then
I think he has a
believe-
higher. I thought the touchdown potential is the same, and Gus Edwards gets more volume.
I like that. I like
It's in,
that.
it's in
I'm on
standard. It's
board
in
with that.
standard too. Standard scoring.
Oh, that's obvious. Gus
Yeah.
Edwards. For
Yeah,
me.
Gus Edwards for sure.
Yeah. PPR, I think about it. I think about it a little bit because McKinnon's such a good receiving back out of the backfield. It's going to be a high scoring game, between
Right. A lot of
Minnesota and
movement.
Kansas
A lot
City.
of movement in both offenses.
Yeah, he's gonna be out there, but I'm going Gus Edwards in that.
Right.
I don't feel good about it. I don't feel good about it.
Yeah, I don't
but
feel good about Gus Edwards either. I'm glad I'm playing against him this week. Christian Kirk with a little nice catch. What was that, a 20-something yarder? I know he had a 7-yarder and an 8-yard catch, back-to-back plays. Got me at 11.5 points from him in the 10-man,
That's solid. That's
Yeah, it was
solid,
very
especially against
solid.
Buffalo.
especially against John
Anything you wanna go over before we end this?
No, I think I'm good, man. I do want to talk about some of my start sit decisions just because I feel like we didn't get much questions this week, so I want to go over a little bit of things. I got Alan Lazard starting as my wide receiver 3, not good. Jameer Gibbs went out for me at the last second, so I'm starting Matt Breida. But if for the flex though, I've got Braxton Berrios or Jerry Jeudy. I've got Braxton Berrios in right now. Don't know how I feel about it.
I'm going Jerry Jeudy with that. as nasty as it sounds. He's a better receiver. They're going to rely on him more. There's more volume. I don't feel
Yeah,
good about it, like I said, but I think I'm going Judy on that.
but is there actually more volume? Because
There
I'm pretty
should
sure
be.
Braxton Berrios has more targets than Jerry Judy on the year.
That's fine. Jerry Judy started slow. I mean, he started
He
out
didn't have
injured,
he
so
missed the game. Yeah, that's right.
yeah, he missed a
Um,
game.
yeah, I would probably go Jerry Judy if I needed the safe play. But seeing how I have Alan Lazard and Romeo Dobbs and Matt Breida in, I think I need to go for the touchdown.
Okay, I like it. You're definitely going to get more. The chains are going to be moved for Barrios, and there's going to be more upside for touchdowns in that game
Yeah,
for
and a good
Barrios. I think
matchup
that
too.
there
I
is for
mean,
Judy.
the over under was what, almost 50 points, like 48 and a half points, I think, with a 12 and a half
Yeah,
point favorite for Miami. So they're going to put up
yeah,
touchdowns.
definitely in PPR. I'm going over. I'm going Barrios. I'm probably going Judy in standard, but I like I like where your head's at as far as your path to Barrios getting a touchdown. I think that
Yeah,
there's a
it's
little
not
something
fun. I
there.
don't want to start him. I got Alan Lazard starting too, which isn't good. Alan Lazard or Jerry Judy?
I'd go Jerry Judy there too.
Leaving Jerry Judy on the bench. I might feel like an idiot, but here we are.
I'll be interested to see how that pans out for you because I can see why you're doing it.
I'm playing the
It'll be
matchups.
interesting.
I play
Yeah,
that
you're playing
defense
the
for the
matchup.
Jets. I just don't believe. I don't believe he's going to get a touchdown.
I don't really believe either, but I don't believe that
Jerry,
any
all
other
right.
really guy does.
Last one: Alan Lazard or Braxton Berrios.
Braxton Berrios.
Braxton Berrios over Alan Lazard. All right.
What's
Well, hey,
Alan Lazar done the past few games?
he let's go look. Let's go pull this up. He had a touchdown last week against the Chiefs.
It's just Zach Wilson, man. I don't believe. I don't care about the
So
matchup.
last
I just
week,
think he sucks.
3 targets, 3 catches for 61 and a touchdown. The week before, 5 targets for 3 catches and 39. The week before, 4 targets, 2 catches and 23. The week before, 4 targets, 2 catches and 46. Not
I
good.
think you're looking at about 2 to 4 points.
Yeah, or a touchdown.
Yeah, you just got the touchdown. You really think he's a guy in that
It's going to
offense
get it
with
two
that
times in a
volume
row.
just going to get it 2 times in a row? I bet no.
You might be right. I think I'm actually switching that out. I'm throwing Jerry Judy in for Lazard. But I
Okay,
believe in
last minute
Berrios. Yeah.
switches, they'll get your ass.
They'll get you. They'll get you. But I think that's just playing the smart move. That's playing the smart move there.
Yeah, one of the battles I had this week was Tank Dell and Jahan Dotson. Jahan Dotson going against the Bears. I chose to go with Tank Dell because I had
Yeah.
the stack with Stroud covering for Herbert and Allen. Um, and I'm trying to go over maybe some last minute, Connor versus Mixon type decisions. Kamara or Damian Pierce.
I'm going Kamara.
PPR for sure. Kamara standard is closer, but I'm going Kamara there.
Right.
Um, yeah, I feel like we touched on those games pretty good. We both got Green Bay beating Vegas. Is that what we
Yep.
both said?
That's right. And we both had the Jets beating Denver. Do you think the Cardinals will pull up the upset against the Bengals?
I think they do. I got
Okay,
the
so
Cardinals winning that
we
game.
both have 3 upsets called. We're both agreed on that. That's fun, man. It's gonna be a fun week.
That's interesting. Yeah.
You got anything else before we close it out?
I think I'm good, man. It's been fun. We do this every Sunday. We usually start at about 10 and kind of go over some college football things. And then we get right into it at 10:30 from the early matchups on to the late matchups, the final game, answering all fantasy questions, going over the tough decisions, the
Yeah,
unders,
that's
the
right.
overs.
That's right.
Check out the podcast. I think we got a new episode just dropped. Did it drop this morning? Or
No, I just finished exporting. I'm about to upload it to YouTube here as soon as we get done. So it'll be
coming
out
out
there
tomorrow,
around
which it
4
was
o'clock,
a
5 o'clock.
great time. It was a great episode with you the other day, man. We always have a blast.
Yeah, our live stream
Anything
is
else you
a
want to
lot
go
more
over?
professional. Our podcast is not very professional at all. We will get dirty and nasty and vulgar, but we have a good time,
Yeah,
man. We have a little beer and it's a good time. So
it is. It is. So we're excited. Thank you guys, all the listeners who joined in. We're very thankful, and we'll see you guys next week.
yeah, that's right. See you, buddy.
Yeah, man.